everyone. I'm Rabbi Wolk, Community Chaplain with Jewish Family Service. I'm happy to share some words with you just a few days before Passover. First of all, I sent out to some members of the community, people on my email list, some Passover teasers, about 20 cute questions and answers for people to share at their Seder. If you'd like a copy of this Passover teasers, please email me at rabbiwolk, one word, rabbiwolk at jfsdallas, one word, .org, rabbiwolk@jfsdallas.org. Also, if any of you would like to talk privately, I'm certainly available. My direct office number is 469-206-1681. 469-206-1681. Please leave a message and I'll call you back promptly if you'd like to chat. Certainly this Passover, I would estimate, will be the most unique of all of our lives. This is the holiday, Passover, that I think most connects us one to another. More than all the other holidays of the year, Passover is usually an intergenerational holiday. 1, 2, 3, if we're especially blessed, 4 generations of family members often sit around the Seder table celebrating together. Well, the great contrast to this year, I think, will be painfully felt by many of us. The difficulties associated with this year's holiday. But I'd like to share with you just a couple of lessons from the Seder that hopefully can inspire us, give us a smile, and give us some additional fortitude as we go further. At the beginning of the recitation of the Haggadah, the special book, of course, that we read on the 2 nights opening the holiday of Passover, we say, Halach ma'anya, this is the bread of affliction, referring, of course, to the matzah. This is the bread of affliction that we ate all those years as slaves in Egypt. Passover is our transformational holiday when we became a nation. We went from slaves to free people. And that's what that paragraph says. We used to eat this matzah as slaves. We ate it as free people when we left Egypt. This year we are here, next year in the land of Israel. And I think perhaps this year we can add our own words to this paragraph, that this year we are here, we're perhaps sitting without family members, we don't have guests, we're by ourselves. There will be, in fact, sadly, people conducting a private Seder, individuals by themselves, or perhaps just a couple by themselves. That's this year. But we have to emphasize that we're confident and hopeful that next year we'll be together again. Next year we'll be sitting side by side at the Seder. We won't have to have distances between us. And I think that's an important note of optimism for all of us to include as we begin the celebration of the holiday. As bleak as things are now, we're confident that things will be much brighter in the future. And then a little bit later in the Haggadah, we recite the famous passage of Dayenu. One of the most famous melodies associated with Passover is the singing of Dayenu. And we recount in 15 different ways. We say, if God would have done this for us, it would have been enough, but he did even more. The lesson of this particular passage is for us to count our blessings. And again, after we recite the passage from the Haggadah, let's personalize our blessings. Let's say, yes, as difficult as things are now, but look at everything that we have. Hopefully everyone who's hearing this message is healthy and your family members are healthy. Yes, we may not be together, but look, we have the blessing of health. At least we can share our Seder with a spouse, with a daughter, with our son. It's a shared experience. There's a famous experiment that's discussed in psychological texts of college students who were given the task of climbing a hill with a backpack on them. And they had to estimate, each student had to estimate how long it would take for him or her to climb that hill. One group of students was put in pairs, walking 2 by 2. The other group walked individually. The vast majority of those walking in pairs estimated that it would take them less time to climb the hill than the estimate from the other group. And that was because they viewed their experience as a shared burden. They were walking up the hill together, and therefore they estimated it would take less time. So whether we are shuttered in pairs with our family members or alone, it's important for us to realize that we're sharing this experience. There may be a geographical distance between us, but this is a shared experience by all of us, by all members of the Jewish community, by all members of the Dallas community, and as you all well know, it's the shared experience of everyone around the globe. So it's important for us in this Passover season for us to have courage, to demonstrate courage and optimism. The famous writer C.S. Lewis said, "Courage is part of every value." And I would add that courage is an important Jewish value. The Torah tells us, "Lo taguru mitnei ish." In a directive to judges, the Torah says, don't be afraid of who's coming before you. You have to judge the case equitably, not be concerned who is standing in front of you. Likewise, the Torah addresses a Jewish army, and it says, Lo ta'arots mitnehem. When you're in the battlefield, do not be afraid. And I would say that this directive, not to be afraid, applies to us in human situations as well, like the one we're in now. We cannot be afraid. We have to realize that courage is an important Jewish value. It's an important human value. And we have to show resistance. That's also a Jewish trait. Samuel Johnson wrote, "Courage is necessary for other virtues." And so Passover that begins this Wednesday night, we're familiar, of course, with the Israelites showing great courage in the face of the Egyptian taskmasters. We have to possess and demonstrate courage in our current severe health dilemma. Passover is ultimately a holiday of optimism. We have to make, yes, an extra effort this year to celebrate it in a joyful and a thankful manner. It's difficult this year, but we have to encourage one another. Optimism is part of the Jewish DNA. Passover, I always say this season of the year, the month of April that we just started, the month of April is not a month for atheists, because Passover is being celebrated. Our Christian brethren will be celebrating Easter. This is not a month for atheists. So whatever holiday you're celebrating, I wish that you do it in good health. Normally, in advance of Passover, we say, Chag kasher v'sameach. You should have a kosher and happy Passover. This year, we changed the greeting. We add a word, and we say, Chag bari kasher v'sameach. You should have a healthy and kosher Passover. Thank you for your attention. I wish all of you individually and collectively a happy Passover, and may we all have good health and good tidings from our family. Thank you.